What it do, people? How y'all doing? Don't be shocked at that new intro. One of my, oh wow, junior high friends put that together for me. I'm Kris Gardner, KG of the Houston Roundball Review, and welcome to the Houston Roundball Review presents Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Well, let's get into it. Deborah Grant, Happy New Year to you as well. Marco, thank you very much for the intro. I'll give him a friend props. Derek, hope you're watching this, man. James Tryon, what's up with you as well? Once again, defense took a nap for the Rockets Friday night after playing better against the Wizards, and they snapped. Lo and behold, played better defense, get a win, regressed and played crappy defense, and got a loss. Solo Dilo, what's up? How you doing? TJK Penny 79, hello. How are you as well? Let's get into it. I kept up with the game last night while I was doing with my partners in, not crime, but partners at Folks Talking Sports. Alpha G, hello to you as well. And Haas Jacinto Martinez, hello to you. That's a new name, a name I haven't seen before. Graffro, how are you as well? Mavs made 7 threes in the first quarter, scored 43 points or whatever it was in the first quarter. Yeah, it was 43-23. Scored 80 points in the first half, led by a 20 against the Rockets, and the Rockets lost 130-106. They're now 11-29 and almost on my pace to go 21 and 61 this season, as I predicted in October. They're going about it a strange way. Lose 15, win 7, lose 8. So who knows what happens if this loss to the Mavs will begin another losing streak. They got Minnesota and Philly Sunday and Monday at home. Karl-Anthony Towns on Sunday. Joel Embiid on Monday. So we'll see how Christian Wood handles that. I got 4 clips to play, 2 from Coach Silas, 1 from Christian Wood, 1 from Garrison Matthews. The first clip, 1 from Coach Silas, is from Wednesday. He was asked a question by my colleague, Adam Spolin, as the Rockets refer to him, pronounce his last name, Spolin. About, and let's start right there. Let's because Coach Silas's answer, I think, was very thoughtful. He gave this some thought before he commented on it, and it was about, you'll hear Spo ask the question, but it was asking Coach Silas what he believes Christian Wood needs to do or can do to become an all-star like Christian Wood believes he is or close to being an all-star. So let's go with that because I want to get y'all's thoughts on this. And here we go, because we'll get into the sorry defense. The Rockets defense has been bad for a while now. Lack of effort, chemistry. We can get all the reasons / excuses about the poor defense. But here we go from Coach Silas. The first voice you'll hear will be from my man, Adam Spolin. But here we go with that clip.
He is, I think,
even in the year and a half that Christian has been with you guys, he's talked often about his desire and belief of being an all-star. Have you seen him do enough of the little things consistently to where he should be able to put himself in that mold?
That's a good question. He is, I think when it comes to like being an all-star and being like one of the top echelon guys, it really is based on consistency, right? So for the guys who are able to be super consistent throughout, they have the ability to be all-stars, and Christian is getting there as far as his consistency. But as far as little things and all that, I don't really want to get into like the particulars of his game. But when you think about an all-star, it's like every night, and he will get to the point where it's an every night thing for him. Not saying that he's wildly inconsistent right now, but that's a hard barrier to break as far as going from a really good player to an all-star. But I do believe he has the ability to do it.
What do y'all think about that? I saw a comment, noticed the pregnant pause from Coach Silas about that. What are your thoughts on it? We've said it. I've said it. Many of y'all have said it who watch these, and I'm sure on Rockets Twitter and elsewhere, Christian Wood needs to be more consistent. Agreed. He does need to be more consistent, and that's part of our reasoning. For one reason that we don't believe Christian Wood is a max salary player. One reason why Christian Wood believes he's better than he really is. He's not consistent game in, game out. That is an issue. He's not an elite player. He could be. We discussed it in the last show about him being a top 10 center in today's NBA. Past the first 3 or 4, what is that saying? Okay. I mean, is that such a great thing? Be top 10, top 15 center in today's NBA? But that silent pause from Coach Silas, you can read into it if you want to, but his answer was fair and on point. Christian does have talent. He does have potential, but he needs to be consistent game in, game out. So we're going with that. The trade I see from Smikes here. Welcome to you on the Let's Talk Houston Rockets. THT Kent Bazemore in the first for Wood. Would y'all be good with that? What do y'all want? Are y'all ready to give up? Because I'm not sure. I think the Rockets are entertaining offers for Christian Wood. I think they do have. They want a definite first for sure in mind. Probably want contracts that are ending this summer or close to it. So not to be an anchor on the future salary cap, but what would I like to see in return for Christian Wood? And then I got 3 clips to play from last night's loss after the game. From one more for Coach Silas, by defense, Garrett Matthews, defense, lack of energy, and y'all's favorite Rocket, Christian Wood, about the defense wasn't there, communication wasn't there. I'm not that high on THT. I was higher on him last year. He hasn't played well so far this season but he's struggling, and maybe that new contract has been part of that struggle. I don't know about that, but So what do y'all think about that? What do y'all want? How many of y'all have given up on C Wood? Because after the blow up last Saturday, we did the show on Sunday. It seemed like 80% of y'all were through with him. And there was a few members of the family who were willing to keep him, give him another chance because of his potential. But where do y'all see him? Numbers wise, he's okay. He's just not great. He's not great, all the time. Enough for me. Let me see here. I think this is a great point from Ray. There's not a flavor. Feel like Wood doesn't do the little stuff to be a star. Valid. It feels like his 2010 is empty. Yeah, that's when I'm set a hard pick and roll to the basket. Well, hard pick. I'm not sure he's built to be set hard picks. But we got trade him. Apathy regarding C Wood. Folks, Solo wants him gone. TJ, I think many of us, I'm in this group, he's not part of the Rockets' long-term future. I agree with that. Like I said, I think the Rockets, if they get the right offer, should make a trade, should trade for him. But we have one little voice in the wind. Graph O has not given up on Christian Wood. There's one little voice in the wind who believes in him. So, okay with that. Well, fair. So with that, I'm going to jump to Christian Wood's comment for him about the defense that he said last night following the 130, the 106 loss to the Dallas Mavericks, who were without Luka or without Kristaps Porzingis. But C Wood, here we go. Your first question I think you'll hear is from Jonathan Fagan from The Chronicle. But here we go with that comment from Christian Wood, y'all's favorite Rocket.
addressed this many times, but what's it take to get the defense where you guys want it to be?
Well, tonight was communication. We were in the 15, so that's a 1 through 5 switch. And at times the roller was getting behind us and their slip ups were kind of killing us, and they got open looks and threes, and their driving kicks was working. So our defense wasn't there today.
Usually when you switch, that's what you do best, right?
Yeah, I agree. But just like I said before, our communication just wasn't there together.
What's communication due to the lack of the fact you all hadn't played together a lot?
Yeah, I mean that's a factor, but then it's just energy. I think they had a little bit more energy than us, and it took a while for us just to wake up and get going, especially in the first.
How much of that 43-point first quarter was more of them hitting shots or just you all playing bad defense?
I think that was just us playing bad defense. So I think that they were shooting 60% at half, which we can't have. And coach has been preaching about trying to keep them under 30 for the quarters, and 40-point corners is just inexcusable. So we just got to be better defensively. We're gonna come in tomorrow, go over the same schemes, and try and get better.
Go over the same schemes, try to get better. Today's practice, I wasn't there. I was at U of H men's basketball game while the Rockets had practice. But more and more people want Christian Wood gone. Ataluna, trade him. Okay, no problem. I'm trying to figure out how to respond directly to people now. So I'm learning with y'all on these streams. So if you missed the intro, this new intro, I got a new intro for the show. So I'm trying to add to that and add to my bag as well, as the youngsters say in 2021. Do you still say that? Add to your bag, went into the bag. I don't know. I'm too old about that. Everyday Pro, that's a new name I haven't seen. Defense coordinator, Rockets worked on preseason. They worked on defense, and I think a clip I'm going to play from Coach Silas goes into a little bit about some of the problems defensively that the Rockets have. Energy was an issue last night. Christian Wood said that. Garrison Matthews touched on it. Coach Silas said, because of the emotions of the last week, they are okay. Thank you, Solo Dilo. So I'm not too out of touch as I approach 50 in March. But lack of energy because of everything the team went through in the last few days was an issue. I think I'm big on defense. And first things first on defense to me is effort. First things first, you have to want to play defense. Okay, that's first. Y'all know me enough to know that. Next is you get into the chemistry of your teammates, and because of the injuries, because of COVID, because of guys being in and out of the lineup and rotation, that has some impact on the poor communication. Some. Not enough to give up. Let me pull it up here. I won't get this right. Not enough to give up 41 in the first to Miami, 47 in the second to Denver, in which Jokic scored 4 of that 47, 41 in the third against Philly, 43 against the Mavs in the first last night. That's 4 out of the last 5 games, a 40-point quarter. The one game that they won out of that 5, the Wizards did not score more than 30 in any of the 4 quarters. That's defense. Defense, defense, defense. Effort, first and foremost. And they've been getting, and first things first, you got to be able to keep your man that you're guarding on the perimeter out of the paint, out of the middle of the floor. You have to be able to do that, because if you get beat out top and in the middle of the floor, it causes your teammates' rotation to be off. They got to collapse in the paint, which opens up what? The corner threes and all those open threes. The Rockets defense, and here's a stat from the Rockets PR department. The Rockets have only won 1 game when allowing the opponent to shoot 50% or better since the start of last season. Let me say that one more time. The Rockets have only won 1 game when allowing the opponent to shoot 50% or better since the start of last season. During this, 1-9 stretch, these last 10 games, I think in the 9 losses, they probably allowed a team to shoot 50% 7-8 times. The Mavs shot 60% from the floor for a half, 54.5 from three. It made seven threes in the first quarter, 12 in the first half. And then it cooled off and only made 5 in the second half to shoot 44.7% from three. That is just awful. The Rockets have allowed opponents to shoot 40% or better from three in 5 of the past 7 games. This is awful. That's poor defense. Poor communication. Communication is part of it. Daniel Tice is big on defense. You know, he's one of the vets on the team, and we've heard Tice say it. You have to be able to talk on defense. It starts, whoever's the back line of the defense has to be able to communicate to his teammates out top, on the perimeter. What sets are we in? Switches, drop coverages, all those things. You have to be a string. You got to know where your teammate is at all time on defense. And let me just pull up. Garrison Matthews said it great. And I'll just pull this up right now. Listen to what Greedy Garrison and Gary Bird said about the team's defense last night against the Mavs. Michael Scrubs, what's up with you? We're talking Rockets piss poor defense. Here we go from Garrison Matthews.
So difficult to sort of ramp up the energy.
It was strictly defensive end. They were picking us apart. All they do is come down and pick and roll, throw it to the corner, throw it to the roller, and that's got to be where we, play the hardest is on the defensive end. We're too young. We can't have defensive games like that. They score in the first half, 80, 70, something like that. That's just unexcusable. That's terrible. So we really need to get a lot better on the defensive end.
Are you seeing different issues like game to game on defense, or is it kind of the same underlying things?
No, we're just, I don't know. We got to get in film and watch it and see what's going on. It's not for, we obviously need to play a lot harder. I think defensive end, it comes down to effort, to be honest with you. You got to be in the right spots and this and that, but a lot of it comes down to effort.
Here it is right there. A lot of it comes down to effort. Amen. First things first, effort. You have to first want to keep your man from scoring. First things first. Defense is important. And defense, to me, is not trying to outgun your opponent. Defense, to me, is you scoring 50 and your opponent scoring 52. That ain't defense. And there's man right there with the intro. You missed it, my man, but I played it. Thank you very much. D-Skills, H-Town, thank you very much. Defense is effort. That's first things first. Defense is effort. Graylin Brown, new name. Thank you very much for joining Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Appreciate it. We'll do this at least once a week. Appreciate everybody chiming in. For those who are new, thank you. Tell your friends about these shows, because I keep it real. I'm not a fan. You guys are the fans, okay? I'm going to give it to you straight. Give it to you how I see it. Some folks agree with me. Some folks disagree. As long as we're respectful, I'm good with the disagreements. That's all part of this as well. But the Rockets defense has taken a nap for nearly a month now. The offense has been okay for the most part, but they're trying to they're trying to outscore people. Just outgun them. You just can't do that when you're this young and you don't play hard enough on defense. That just ticks me off. And no, I'm going to say it. That just pisses me off. This defense is effort. And when I see teams struggling to play defense or not trying to play defense, it pisses me off. So now you've heard from Christian Wood about the lack of energy, the poor defense. We've heard from Garrison Matthews about it. Now we're going to hear from the head man himself, Coach Stephen Silas, and part of his comments. And obviously, these clips are from the full clips are available on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Like them, comment on them, click on that thanks button, that $ button, contribute to the channel, support the channel that way. In addition to spreading the word of mouth is always good. There's a lot of ways to support the Houston Roundball Review. Here we go from Coach Silas.
You mentioned that this team that you played was without Luka, but it was also without Porzingis and Jason Kidd. Does that make this type of loss a little bit more frustrating than normal?
Not necessarily, because usually when guys are out, other people step up, and we've had it like that. But you saw how they were playing. I mean, they played really well. And, whether they had their guys or not, if you play a team that's going to play with a bunch of force, you have to meet that force with force, and we didn't do that.
Even with a performance like this, how do you as a coach actually review the film and try to find some kind of silver lining into it?
I don't necessarily have to find a silver lining. It is obviously a teachable moment. So if that's silver lining, that is, but I don't have to find anything positive from it. I can teach from negative too. So we'll teach from it, but we have a game coming up Sunday, Monday, two games that we got to play better.
You mentioned the middle penetration, and a lot of the times, I think this is maybe what you were referencing before the first time out, they were just getting open rolls to the rim. Yeah. Time and time again, when you got Minnesota coming in here with Towns, a guy like that, how do you go about correcting that, or is that something that you're going to specifically work on tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it. We'll work on it, but that's what I told the group after the game. We have a team coming in here that's going to play very similar to what we saw tonight. So there's a lot of correction that needs to go on so we can play better. But again, I don't think it was a lack of try. I think it was a lack of energy.
How much was that first quarter where you gave up 43 points? Was it bad defense, or were they just hot and hitting shots?
Some of it was bad defense for sure. Allowing the ball to get to the middle of the floor, missing rollers, not closing out to shooters. We're just a step slow. I don't know how else to explain it, but we were just a step slow right from the start of the game. And we can't be that team. We can't be a step slow ever. And we were tonight.
We can't be a step slow ever. They were. Step slow, energy, lack of energy is part of it. It's also effort. It's also want to, fighting through it. And see, I'm going to go back, but Everyday Pro, great question right here. Are they tired on defense because they play so fast on offense? No, they shouldn't be. I think they care more about offense than they do about defense. That's part of it. That's part of the issue. Playing fast is good. And it's great to play fast when you get stops, because that's the way I like to play. Keep a team from scoring, and then we get easy buckets like that. That's it. They like playing fast, and they want to play up tempo, push the pace, all those things. But they care more about outscoring their opponents rather than locking their opponents up, making them take tough shots, making them miss, and then grabbing that defensive rebound and then running. That's part of being a young team. That's not all about being a young team. So, because you can see a lot of young teams who go through these same issues, but I'm past the point, because you're young, you can't play hard on defense. You don't want to play hard on defense. No, I just won't do that. But I got to scroll up here because there's another comment. The ball movement was an issue. Vocal leader, here we go, Ramsey. Bring this up. A vocal leader in the locker room. Eric Gordon is not vocal. He's a quiet leader. He leads by example. I think Jayshawn Tate is probably the most vocal, well-respected guy in the locker room. I'm not sure Christian Wood is that kind of player. And this is me talking here when I say this. I'm not sure how much his teammates respect him for his inconsistent effort on defense from game to game. Because if you, and this is a general statement, but I'm saying this about C. Wood. If you don't bring it defensively, then your teammates aren't going to respect you if and when you call them out about effort on defense. So in order to be respected and talk about defense, you got to bring it and play hard on defense. Game in, game out. Not just against certain opponents. Not just against a former team. not just against a marquee matchup. You got to bring it defensively all the time. Defense travels wherever you go. Good defense should be a constant. Where the offense, you're struggling to make shots in games, that happens. You play defense game in, game out, that should travel with you wherever you go. Home, road, doesn't matter who you're playing, where you're playing. Play good defense consistently. The Rockets don't do that. That is an issue. So that's, like I said, and we're going to see it. Christian Wood was asked about it, about, the upcoming facing Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, and Joel Embiid, whether or not he looks forward to facing those two talented, skilled big men, and kind of circles their days, the matchups on the calendar. His answer was better than what he's said in the past. He said he doesn't look at the opponents anymore. He's all about team now and trying to do what it takes for his team to win. That's an improvement to me that he said that, because he has said, earlier this season, that he looks at a marquee center matchups to gauge where he is and try to prove a point. So far, man, you and your points you're trying to prove ain't working. And guys like Joel Embiid, superstar, elite big man, don't pay C with any mind. They probably laugh it off. Good for you. You're doing a good job on offense, good enough. But I'm gonna make you work and light you up on defense. I think that's what the better big men do to Christian Wood and how they see him when they face him. They're not concerned about what Christian Wood does defensively at all. Y'all see it. I don't have to tell you. That's not anything y'all don't know. Y'all watch the games. Some of y'all watch the games more intently than I do. But y'all see how Christian Wood does against certain centers in the NBA. Sandoval, Wood, and EG gone by the deadline. Depends on what the Rockets get for them. I think, oh Lord, the Pistons beat the Magic, mucking up them ping pong balls. Depends on what offers they get. I think Eric Gordon got to stay healthy, and he's got to show teams that he can stay healthy and play back-to-backs. So that's got to be, February 10th, we're 33 days away from the deadline. Got to stay healthy, man. Got to stay healthy. If the Rockets can get a first-round pick, oh, yeah, Adeluna, I know it wasn't Magic. That's my point, because both teams had 7 wins coming into the matchup. The loser has the most ping pong balls. So they are now in the lead for the Jabari Smith, Paolo Banchero sweepstakes. Terran Gamble, new name, welcome. Armani does. He had flashes of moving without the ball a few weeks ago. Then he got COVID, went into the protocols. Went into the protocols. I'm not sure if he had COVID, went into the protocols. And so we'll see if he gets back to that, because there was a point. He had a stretch there where he was moving without the ball more. And he's kind of reverted back to old habits. He needs to add more to his game and not just be a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. So, and I'm hard on him because I've seen him since he was at U of H, so I've seen him for years and I've expected a lot from him. So, but where are y'all at? What do y'all think about this? About after the Rockets, I'm not gonna get into the comment from the Wizards announcer. I'm not gonna touch on that stuff. That was just asinine, and his reason for saying it was even worse than when he said it live during the game. Asleep Art 11 _ Alp's timeline is at least another week away, one more week away, and the ankle will be evaluated, I guess, in the next 6-7 days, and we'll see how the ankle feels. He didn't start practice or anything on the court. I think it's before yesterday, so he's been limited to, just rehab and watching film, all that kind of stuff. He hasn't done much on-court activity prior to yesterday. So he's slowly but surely getting there. He's just not there yet. Peyton Thompson, thank you as always for chiming in. But after the Rockets beat the Wizards, and the hugs and the kumbaya moments, all those things, did y'all think the tide had been turned and that the blow up from Saturday night and how it was handled, the 1-game suspensions, and then Scoot hitting the game winner, that everything was going to be great? Were your hopes restored in the franchise? And then you see the Rockets give up 43 points to the Mavs in the first quarter Friday night. So where y'all on the emotional roller coaster that is of being a fan of these Houston Rockets? Is it possible? No. G League, Ramsey, is for players in their first 2 to 3 years in the NBA. So no, you cannot send season ticket holder John Wall to the G League. So yeah, and he's no longer Coach Wall. He is season ticket holder John Wall. Give me your thoughts on this. Give me your thoughts on Gerald Green coming out of retirement because he still has that itch to hoop. And he's back now. He's signed with the Vipers, and he's back playing, trying to get back, I guess, trying to get back to the NBA, see if he still has it. He still has that itch. And so what are your thoughts on that? And I was kind of curious to hear Coach Silas's comments about how valuable Gerald Green was to the coaching staff and his pulse of the team and how much impact he had in the short time he was on the staff as a coach, to the value that he added to Coach Silas. But he's back trying to hoop. Let's see. Which locker room is more toxic? Well, Derek, you might have some insight about the Texans. Which locker room is more toxic, Rockets or Texans? I'm not sure about the Texans. I'd have to ask my man AD more about that on the Ad Max Corner to get his probably answer that question better than I can. Rockets have issues to address. They need to figure out whose team this is. Y'all know whose team I think this is. I think this team belongs to Jalen Green. Jalen. It's his team. And I think the issue is, there's your answer right there from J-Mon, Derek. Texas locker room is more toxic. So go with there. But yeah, it was a shame that the Rockets laid such a ostrich-sized egg Friday night versus the Mavs, because it took away from honoring Bill Worrell, who is a University of Houston alum. Kudos there for Mr. Worrell. But he's also, I think everybody on this stream who's a Rockets fan grew up listening to Bill Worrell call Rocket games. So, and Bill still looks amazing. I'm not sure how much, if he's had work done, paid for it, whatever. His mind is still sharp. And I think y'all noticed it a little bit. It wasn't as sharp as it was when he was younger in the last few seasons of broadcasting the games, but he was great doing the calls, great calling the Rockets. And man, from calling U of H, Bill Worrell was a catcher for U of H baseball when he was there. So when he was a student at U of H. So yes. But let me see, asleep. All right, let me pull this up. Let me put this comment. Green sees all these 10-day contracts. Yeah, I think that's fair. He wanted one more crack at it. Yeah, he still won. I think, he still has some basketball left, some game left, and he's want to try to see if he can still get it done in the NBA. So good luck to Gerald. Go back to Gulf Shore Academy, long time ago when he was flying high through the air way back when with Juice Williams coaching him. Ken Juice Williams coaching him at Gulf Shore Academy. How come Jalen's been kind of quiet the last couple of games? I think Jalen, Justin, let me pull this up real quick. When I saw her name, I was like, I forgot about her. So yeah, it's good to see Lisa Milosky as well, saluting Bill. But J-Mon, I'll pull this up, your comment. I don't believe it's a coaching scheme issue. I think, and this is Jalen. Mentioned this a few times. He's trying to fit in. He's not sure how to lead this team. He's not a vocal leader. He's not comfortable being a vocal leader yet. I think Jalen is the face of the franchise. I think the Rockets management, ownership wants him to be, well, hell, have declared him the face of the franchise. He's just not comfortable yet being the vocal leader of this franchise. So I think that is an issue. The game where he went to the line, took 14 free throws. He was attacking, going downhill. That terminology, I don't know where that started, but attacking the basket, getting fouled, getting to the line is a Jalen Green that the Rockets want to see more of. Rocket fans want to see more of. But he's got to be, once again, he's got to be consistent from game to game. I don't believe the hamstring is an issue. He's got to take care of his body and get used to the pounding and the rigors of the travel, all those things. But he's got to be comfortable being that leader. And he's got to do a better job. He's not strong enough. He's quick enough to be better defensively. He's not strong enough to use his body to keep guys out of the paint. But he's quick enough to use angles to do better defensively. Ramsey, you're not alone in this, but from the start of the season, there has not been any Ryan Hollins bashing like it was in the preseason in the first 2-3 games of the regular season. So you're not alone. It just take a while to get used to Craig and Ryan Hollins calling the games. Everyday Pro. Alp will be part of the core, the whatever you want to call it, big 2, big 3, whatever, of the franchise. He won't be the face of the franchise, but he is definitely part of the Rockets' future. No doubt about that. Go on, welcome. And yeah, the Mavs. Let me call out some of the names of the Mavs who lit up the Rockets. And which is an issue. And yeah, guys step up when star players aren't playing. My man Reggie Bullock, 5 for 9 from 3. That's what he does. Josh Green, 17 points on 6 for 7 shooting. Josh Green, 6 for 7. And he was everywhere, all over the floor. Tim Hardaway, Rocket Killer. Tim Hardaway Jr., 5 for 10 from 3, 19 points. Marquise Chris, I'm a Rocket. Moses Brown. Seemed like he had more than one block. But Trey Burke, line drive, Trey Burke, 3 for 9, 7 points in 15 minutes. But Dwight Powell scoring, 6 for 8 from the floor. Mavs had 6 guys in double figures. It's like 11 guys scored at least 2 points. Everybody scored for Dallas, just about. That's the problem. That's defense. That is an issue. So, Haas to Centro Martinez. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for the contribution. Thank you for the support. The content. I got some plans for 2022 going forward. I'm going to say it now. I'm not going to say the name of the person, but I mentioned in the January 2nd stream that I had reached out to a few colleagues about participating in that show to discuss the locker room blow up on New Year's Day on the 1st. Lo and behold, one of them told me they didn't see the messages until Monday. So, which is weird. I don't know if it's my phone or that person's phone, but I'm going to try to get other voices on these Let's Talk Houston Rockets streams in the future, get that going, other colleagues to share their insights and take some of your questions and comments during the streams, not just hear my voice. So trying to work on that in the future. It worked out, had a special guest and a coach join Fridays, folks, talking sports. That was a last minute invitation. So we're going to do that. So just trying to reach out planning some invites, may do some last minute short notice invites as well. But, I don't know everything. I'm too old to say all that, think that anymore. Martin, new name there. Have not seen that name yet. Will Usman Garuba be an important player for the Houston Rockets? Important. I think he'll be a solid piece for the Rockets. You tell me what you think about what you're basing on important. Asleep. All right. Thank you very much for the comment and the contribution and the support. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be straightforward and call it like I see it. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to disrespect anybody. But if I think a player is wrong, I'm going to say so. If I think a coach is wrong, I'm going to say so. If I think, somebody deserves credit, I'm going to give it to them. If they deserve blame, I'm going to give it to them. That's what I do. I am comfortable in my skin of being media credentialed going on 30 years almost. So, yeah, I've been doing this a long time. I got great news from the football side of Derek. If you're still watching, the Houston Roundball Review has been approved credential-wise to cover the Super Bowl. So, yes, a man, A.D. Moore, got the good news that he will be under the Houston Roundball Review umbrella, because I'm branching out, to cover the Super Bowl. So, yes, I know football is not round, but I got to branch out, got to develop those additional revenue streams. I'm a businessman. So, yes. So, the Houston Roundball Review credentialed now. So, I've been NCAA, NBA, now NFL. So, branching out, going on that. So, yeah, that's great news. Looking forward to doing big things with him those few days that he is in LA, most likely. There's slim chance of the game being moved, but we'll see about all that plays out. Thank you very much for that, everybody, for the kudos. But yeah, back to the Rockets. We're not going to talk draft yet. I think I've said that a few times in previous shows, but I'm going to get more into that. And we can talk about Jabari Smith and Paolo and Chet. Oh, I do want to mention this. Who was it? Somebody from ES. No. It was the Athletics, Sam Bassini. Boy, I'd love to get Sam on one of these streams. He's in Australia now. He and his wife have moved to Australia, or she got a job there, and he followed his wife to Australia. Good for him. But his mock draft 4.0 was dated, I think, January 3rd. I think it was this week. And at that time, Detroit had the worst record in the NBA, so they had the top pick. And he had Detroit taking Jabari Smith from Auburn. Sam had the Rockets selecting Chet Holmgren. I think that's right. I think it was. Was Sam did that? But I know I saw this week somebody having the Rockets selecting Chet Holmgren to pair with Al-P Shingun. Thoughts on that? We discussed that. Some of y'all discussed that possibility in past streams. What are your thoughts on that? Will I be commenting on the Texans? No, because I don't watch enough and don't cover them enough. That's why I reached out to AD. I got to spread my wings and branch out and have Houston Roundball Review in different, because I love to get more folks who can have Houston Roundball Review as the umbrella, and then have other folks cover TSU, cover the Astros, cover HBU, cover A&M. Spread out. But yeah, that's what I'm doing that's the plan there. Oh, but yeah, I've seen the Texans are trash. I know that. But yeah, what are y'all thoughts about Chet and LP? The Rockets selecting Chet Holmgren. Do you think that's a good fit? Agreed, Ramsey. Chet, where I just lost it. Chet does need to get more meat on his bones. Agreed. But that wingspan, his shot blocking skill set, help side, and one thing, if whoever the Rockets get for shot blocking, because they do need it, they'll get a lot of work and opportunities if the perimeter defense continues to suck. So XFL guy, Kevin Sumlin, coaching the Houston Gamblers. Well, I wish the Is it the XFL or USFL? Which one is that? Which one is Sumlin doing? He's now the coach of the Houston Gamblers. Which league is that? But yeah, Chet Holmgren, what are your thoughts about that? And I saw Jaden Ivey. That was, I think, a previous mock draft. That might have been Mike Schmidt's, whatever. I mean, obviously, we're talking January 8th, and we'll get more into this as this season progresses and we get close to the draft. But USFL, thank you, Jamon. What do y'all think the Rockets need more of? A point guard or a center? I guess you play Chet at center, front court of the 4-5, because I'm not convinced LP could be center all the time. You know, play with 4 against some teams and 5 against others. But, you know, Jaden Ivey, because I'm kind of, if the Rockets were the spot to draft Jaden Ivey, and I think there's other guard mentioned as well. I'll get more into that as well. I would think if they did that, if they selected Jaden Ivey, it would indicate to me that they don't believe they've given up on the Scoot Jalen Green combo. And then we could say, well, you know, Jaden Ivey, the 3 of them could work it out. It could be a 3-guard lineup, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know. You know, Rockets have a top 3, top 4 pick. And the year after your number 2 pick, you draft Jalen Green, then you draft Jaden Ivey. I don't know if to me, that's what it indicates to me. It would, you know, everyday pro, you could, you know, that could be the rationale. Would Scooby be okay with that as a 6-man? So, you know, but that's for future discussion. And Ramsey, I thought the Rockets should have drafted, you know, Evan Mobley May and June, but it became, from what I'd heard for weeks / months, that they were going to draft Jalen Green. So I stuck with my thought of who they should draft, but I knew that who they were going to draft. But it is what, you know, it's done. We can't change what's already happened. But yeah, what are your thoughts? I mean, Jaden Ivey, Jabari Smith, obviously depends on where the Rockets fall, you know, where they pick first, second, third, fourth. You know, who was it? Was it Grafo, the only person so far on here saying to keep Christian Wood? So, you know, a lot of folks want see Wood gone. Got to be for a good offer. Don't give him away for, you know, for a bag of rocks. You know, don't make an awful trade. Alan Luna said he wanted. See, I agree with this. I never was convinced he would. Yeah, I know he's not old. You know, 25, 26, I think. He's not old. But the timeline of the other 19-year-olds and 20-year-old, I never was convinced he was part of the long-term plans for the Rockets. And then he add on the top that he still believes he's worth max salary. Just no. We don't want 35 anymore. Gohan. But wins? Are you talking about? Because Rockets are on pace now. I think they're maxed out at like 25. So, and I think as you get closer to, as the season continues and winds down, the Rockets front office will be like, yo, we really shouldn't be winning too many of these games, man, because we need to get another hot pick. I think. Oh, okay. Oh, you calling C with 35. Got you. All right. Because I think, and I maintained it for a while, they still need one more top 3, top 4 pick. They need another impact player. So the more wins they get, they mess that up. And hopefully they begin to turn to my rationale on that. We'll see how that all plays out. But Chet Holmgren, outside shot still needs work. He needs to get stronger. Stronger first, because I'm not sure he'll gain some weight. Well, maybe because Sean Bradley never gained a whole lot of weight either. Despite getting up there, getting older. So I wonder if Chet will have that kind of frame that he just won't ever put on a lot of pounds. Well, I haven't seen this name in a while. Random Nothingness, thank you very much. Jalen Green, he's been developing. He's getting to the line more. The 3-point shooting is coming around. The quicker release is helping. The keeping it high, keeping the ball high, and the higher release, quicker shot. Because summer league, I was having kind of questions about little hits in his shot, catching from the side. So but he's changed that working with Coach John Lucas. So catching it, keeping it high, the 1-2 release, kind of release it in a second. So that's been an improvement for him. Now he's just got to continue adding to his game. Well, Alan, I saw that about turning Chet into Giannis. If he can get strong like Giannis, because that's good. Giannis was a twig when he first came into the league too, but he's sure in those twig now. So Alpe's got to get healthy, get that ankle cleared. 1 more week to be evaluated, and once ankle cleared, I think getting closer to the end of this month and in February, I think Alpe's minutes will start to rise, and he'll just have to learn to play through the fouls and stop reaching in and trying to do everything defensively. Stop trying to. Let's just be real. Stop trying to cover for all of his teammates' mistakes on the perimeter, because if he does that, that's also one of the reasons why he gets in foul trouble. But I want Banchero, but need Chet rim protection. Y'all agree with that? That sentiment, Chet rim protection. So Justin, when start hiring statement, elaborate on me to me about that. Give me more specifics about that. Alpha G, take Porzingis. Oh, Chet developing into Porzingis. The healthy version of Porzingis. That's obviously, gotta stay healthy. Chet, skill set. Chet has skills. Everybody sees that in what I'm reading from other folks and seeing. He's tough. He's not big, but is willing to compete physically against the bigger players, stronger players. That's part of it. That's part of effort. So Chet is a willing defender. And let's be real. Give me how many Rockets do y'all think are willing defenders? How many dudes on this Rockets team are willing defenders? OG, I agree with you. Jabari's defense needs work, but I think he's a willing defender, and that's a great start. But how many of son of a really? What? Okay, start from scratch again. Meaning what? Do you want everybody gone? What are you saying about that? An entire rebuild. I don't know about that. It ain't that bad. Rockets got young talent. Sandoval says Nwaba and Tate, and that's it. Willing defenders. Okay, yeah, John Lucas is a Rafael Stone, but also Coach Silas and Luke have known each other a long time too. So it wasn't, hell, Rafael interviewed Luke for the head job as well. So that's kind of strange, a strange dynamic also. But Coach Silas and Luke known each other years, so not a huge issue, but it did kind of start things kind of strangely. But yeah, 2, Jamon says Tate and Matthews. So we got 3. Tate, Nwaba, Matthews. Willing defenders is the question. Willing defenders. What do I think about Josh Christopher's development? So far, so good. It's on the right track. the Rockets seem to, the management seems to like guards who aren't true point guards and want them to develop lead guard skills. And that's not easy. They're willing to let them grow and learn from their mistakes, but that's not easy. Josh Christopher is not a true point guard. He's becoming a lead guard, learning how to run an offense. Jalen Green ran offense in high school, but he wasn't a true point guard. Scoot, he had the ball. These guys had the ball in their hands a lot when they were younger. Well, I mean, still young, but in their AAU high school days, and they could beat those guys off the dribble. But that's different than learning how to do that in the NBA and getting it done in the NBA. KDC's, okay, Graph Road, we got Tate, KJ Martin, Nwaba. KJ Martin is a great help side shot blocker. So that's good. So in that sense, from the definition, he is a willing defender. So now we got KDC, Gordon. My comment about EG, Eric Gordon, he might be a willing defender. He's strong. He laughs at guys trying to post him up, taller guys post him up on the low block because he's so strong, got such a strong base. And they don't shoot over him. They try to back him down, which is a waste of time. But I'm not sure EG is as great on the perimeter like he used to be. That's Father Time. Kate is getting better. Agreed. Kristen Wood. I think Kristen Wood, he said he said it. He wants to guard on the perimeter and do all those things. He wants to be a versatile defender and be able to guard 1 through 5. He says it. He's just not good enough at it consistently. And that, have I met Stone? Yes. But I haven't talked to him, one-on-one, off record, or anything like that. Definitely not this season. Talked to him a little bit last season, as he walked around Toyota Center, kind of stuff. Nothing in depth yet. This no doubt. Yeah, I agree with that. The bench works harder on defense than the starters. Yes. Agreed. And where's KDC? Amen with this. Kristen Wood does not. So, KDC, are based on your comment right there, are you looking forward to Kristen Wood doing a no-show against Karl Anthony Towns and Joel Embiid these next 2 games? So, there we go on that one. Let me see a comment here. I'm missing something about Brandon. Nothing is. They're willing. I think most of them are. They're willing to play defense, but they're just learning. They're willing to a point. They don't talk enough on defense, and some of them don't know what to do on defense. That's part of it as well. They don't know what to do defensively. They don't know where to be defense. They don't know where to rotate, where to be in certain positions, where to be on the rotations. But part of it also is it's an issue when the ball gets into the paint time and time again because it causes the defense to collapse and disrupts your rotation. Disrupts everything defensively. If you can't keep the ball handler out of the paint, your defense is going to suffer, especially if you don't have an elite shot blocker, a rim protector. And the Rockets do not have that, as y'all know. So first things first, you got to keep the ball out of the paint. Got to. So that's pick up a perimeter defender. And if the Rockets get beat on the perimeter and allow the ball to get into the paint, they are going to struggle. And that's been an issue, allowing teams to shoot 50+% from the floor and 40+% from 3. So that's all part of this poor defense that they have dealt with for 3 weeks. What's going to happen tomorrow, folks? Oh, man, Dominic, new name I haven't seen. A guy like this, yep. Trez, be a great fit here. Hustles, very good defender, physical, all those things. Guy like him. Not Trez, though. Hakeem needs to pay, oddly enough, I won't say oddly, but Hakeem was at U of H game today. He was in town. Probably, I think, Hakeem. Let's see. I wonder. I'm not sure. It hasn't been publicized because Dream is not really very big on publicizing who he works out with. So it hasn't been. Kristen Wood needs to spend a lot of time with Hakeem. Oos for footwork needs to spend time with Hakeem. LP wants to spend time with Hakeem, so hopefully that gets done. But the easy cuts, the open threes, that's all part of the poor perimeter defense, not being in the right spots for after you get beat defensively. Rotations are trash. No. And it was funny. I heard about that after the U of A's game today. One of my colleagues who covers the Wichita State Shockers team, he was in town for today's U of H game versus Wichita State, but he was at the Mavs Rockets game Friday, and he mentioned the Fruit Loop hot dog. So it made an impression. But Jay Green been told that Harden to stop the AAU play and attack. That's what I've been told. Jalen Green, I mean, he's attacking the basket. Whoever has been telling. I mean, Coach Silas has been telling him that, and the staff has been telling him that to attack the basket more and stop messing around, and be more aggressive. It's interesting. No. Have not had that Fruit Loop bacon mac and cheese. No. No. That doesn't even sound good. It sounds different, but no. Just no. I am not interested in trying that at all. Some of that, like a bacon mac and cheese hot dog, maybe, but the Fruit Loops, no. Just no. No, not at all. No. Dream on the coaching staff. No, he spends too much time with business efforts elsewhere. So no. Do I think the Rockets, did Tillman have the patience for the rebuild? He said he did. We'll see how long that lasts. Yes, after this season. I think next season things will expectations will begin to rise because another talented player will be should be on the roster based on him picking high in the draft. Next season, the expectations will change. Hell, I'm expecting to be better next year. So, So if I expect him to be better next year, Tillman will for sure. I don't doubt that at all. But this year is about getting better, learning, going through all these growing pains, the inconsistent performances from game to game. I just need better. I want to see better effort defensively, game in, game out. These giving up 40-point quarters is just makes me sick. Who does Jalen remind me of? Who do you think? Asleep? Who do y'all think? That lightning quick first step, agreed. And he can fly. He can rise. Great hops. But Coach Wall being Dominic, no, I don't see him playing anytime soon. And he is, remember, season ticket holder, John Wall. So, Everyday Pro. Let me pull it up. Go back right there. Eddie Jones. Similar, slender build. Eddie he had hops. He didn't have Jalen Green hops. It's not bad. Clyde. Sandoval says Clyde the Glide. Possibly. But, I'm expecting. Oh, no, I think the Rocks will be bad next year. I just think they'll be making progress and winning more than they will win this year. I don't have them making the play-in next year, getting close to it, but I don't think they'll be playing yet. No. Okay, how about this? Where'd it go? How about that one? A lot of T-Mac and Green. Not as tall. T-Mac, younger T-Mac had hops for days. Boy, yeah. That's a fun comparison. Potential is there. See, most of y'all on this show are not haters of Jalen Green. Y'all have seen it all over social media. Kobe, got a few Kobe's here. Go on and graph O with Kobe. Alpha G, Ray Allen. Sandoval, 30 wins next year. It's early, but I can lean toward 30, around 30, yeah. I'd say that. And that's improvement. That's a sign of progress. So, yeah. And hopefully he becomes more comfortable as a leader of the team and is willing to call out teammates for not playing well. And one thing Jalen said, I think it was earlier this week. Maybe the game. Yeah, I think earlier this week when the game, Scoot was suspended. Well, no, it was the game it was Saturday when Jalen had the ball in his hands a lot in the second half. Jalen kind of admitted he's still learning how to remember the plays because he'd been out a while and have the ball in his hands. Got to remember where teammates are supposed to be in certain plays, certain spots for those plays. So he's got to get better at that because as a leader and when he has a ball in his hands, he has to know where the teammates are supposed to be in those sets. So that's part of him as well. So let me just pull this up. Gerald Green, let's see. The stream after the halftime fight, I asked you which coach would suit up first. Wall, Gerald Green. Yep. Gerald Green, now with the Vipers. So, yeah, Jalen Green, some would debate that. Y'all agree with that about Jalen's step back three being terrible? Duke lost to Miami. I saw they were losing. Last score I saw before joining here, the game was tied. So they lost to Miami. And that was at Cameron Indoor, wasn't it, Justin? So that was a home loss for Duke. Oh, well. Down goes, what is it, number 2, whatever. The Coach K haters are smiling and happy right now. One of my colleagues probably thrilled immensely about that loss, about that news right there. Randy kind of agrees with the Ray Allen. And that's not bad. Now think about it, because young Ray Allen could hammer it home. Young Ray Allen could get by dudes quick and punch it at the rim. So that's yeah. And young Ray Allen was slim too. So yeah, it's not bad. A lot of folks, it's not just Kevin McHale, say LP reminds them of Luis Scola, and that's nothing wrong with that at all. Vince Carter. I like these comparisons. Boy, this some high rent district dudes that y'all are comparing Jalen Green to. If he lives up to it, I think y'all will be very happy. One of those, Ray Allen, Vince Carter, T-Mac. Those guys are better than Eddie Jones. No offense, Eddie Jones, but I think Rockets fans aiming higher than Jalen being Eddie Jones. 6 for 10, 20 points for Banchero in the loss. So did Miami light them up, beat Duke off the perimeter? Once again, one of Duke's problems is defensively on the perimeter. But let's talk about that. Sandoval, ESPN ESPN and rankings, I don't spend much time on ESPN and rankings because too many times I don't agree with what ESPN says. So, I don't spend too much time. I watch the games. I don't watch ESPN talk shows at all. That's it. The games, period. That's what I'm there for. The ESPN is the games. But thoughts on Rockets, Minnesota? Cat. How much does Cat get Sunday against the Rockets? And of course, this is all assuming that there's nothing new with COVID issues or anything like that for either team. So got issues about health issues. I got to read that news. Got to update about the Gavi Lewis Award candidates that we're working on. Looking for 30 and 10 for Cat. Okay. Oh, Peyton, I'll put it up. Put her up right here. Let's see. Here we go. Put it up. I don't believe Christian Wood is part of the Rockets' long-term plans. And I don't believe he should be part of the Rockets' long-term plans. Alp is part of the Rockets' core, part of the Rockets' future. And the Rockets need to get another I prefer a top 3, top 4 pick. Because after the top 4 picks, let's see, we got Paolo, Jabari Smith, Chet, and Jaden Ivey. Johnny Davis. Johnny Davis maybe around the top 5. But after about that, a lot of the rest of after 5, a lot of questions. So we'll talk about that. Cat going for 30, all in the paint. 40 and 10. Boy, 34 for Cat. Sandoval right here. He could. Let's see, pull it up. Let me pull it up here. No, here we go. He could get all those in the paint if he wanted to, but I think he's going to spend too much time, not too much, but he's going to spend some time on the perimeter shooting threes. But he could. I think he should body up Christian Wood, back him down in the paint all game long and eat. But I think Cat is going to shoot a few too many threes. But I mean, y'all saw the clip of Cat posting up AD, Anthony Davis, like AD was nothing. Damn. I mean, and then said he was too little. Woo. Just disrespect right there, man. And AD's a better defensive player than Christian Wood. So if Cat can name his score, I think, and he needs to have that mentality too. And if he does, well, I just don't have problems. But he's got to do that as well. So, okay, that's Sunday. Monday's Joel Embiid. I think Joel Embiid, who was it, had a comment on the YouTube channel in the community tab, predicted Joel would go 31 and 15, and Joel at 34 and 15. The person was off by 3 points, whatever it was. So 40 and 15. Y'all got Cat going off. Well, Cat, I think Cat fell in love with a 3-point shot too much and forgot about where he's most impactful, and that's on the block, in the paint. So we shall see about that. I mean, thanks again, Sleep Art, for appreciate that very much. All the support is needed and appreciated. Thank you very much. And we're going to wrap it up here. I'm trying to get closer to 75 minutes and maybe at some point get through 60 minutes for these shows. But yeah, how much for Joel Embiid? Big fella. Yeah. And I hope Joel does play, because I'm not sure if Philly plays Sunday or they play today, because I want him to be healthy. And because Joel Embiid got so many skills. And inside, outside, and he's more face up, 3-pointer. Don't shoot too many of those. Just put in work down the block, punish teams, punish folks, and just eat all day long. Chenzo, Marvin Bagley on here. Marvin Bagley as a Rocket on here is slander. It's scandalous. Nobody on here wants Marvin Bagley for the Rockets. Nobody. Let me say it again. Nobody here wants Marvin Bagley. If you do, you are the first. And you are standing alone. So, folks saying Embiid is better than Akeem, no. When I saw Joel at Kansas in his college days, I compared him. I saw the potential to be, because his footwork is similar to Akeem. No. Defensively, I mean, y'all realize Akeem is a top 10 in steals and block shots as a center? Do y'all realize that? Y'all realize that? Akeem Olajuwon is top 10 leads in blocks, but top 10 in steals as a center. That's defense. I ain't talking about the man's offense. But all that, yeah, but I will say this, and this is a different topic. Kelvin Sampson said this, head coach of the Cougars. Akeem greater than a Kareem. Steals, yes. But Cap's younger days, Cap could block them shots too. Kareem was a bad man. I mean, that skyhook was unstoppable. But we can debate that. That'd be a fun topic for discussion. But college play at U of H, Kelvin Sampson, and I agree with this. Elvin Hayes is the best U of H Cougar. Period. Elvin Hayes in college was better than Akeem in college. Period. And that's no shame and no slight on Akeem in college when he was Akeem with the A-K-E-E-M. Y'all look at the numbers Elvin Hayes put up at U of H. Man. Woo. Man. But Akeem better than Shaq. Skill-wise, yeah. No question about that. Skill set-wise, no doubt. And Shaq just got fat and comfortable just using his weight to back down folks and never added to his game enough for me. But yeah. All right. Rockets. Will the Rockets win one, both, none of these next two games? Minnesota Sunday, Philly Monday. One, none, both. One, none, or both. Will the Rockets split? Will they beat Minnesota? Lose to Philly? Lose Minnesota, beat Philly, or lose both of them? None. Everyday Pro says none. So, none. We've got another none. We've got two nuns. Three nuns now. Well, one. Alex Mid says one. Alan Luna says one. So, all right, we got four nuns. Randy says none. Four nuns and one. Four nuns. Now we got five. Five nuns and two splits. 95 Rockets over 95 Bulls. Would have loved to have seen it. Sure would have. And I'm no shade on the other ones who said none, but I think a lot of folks agree with that sentiment. Hope won, but the defense needs to be so much better to make it one, to get that one. Got a lot of nuns. KDC none. Alpha G none. West C154 neither. Everyday Pro, hopefully they don't lose by 30 each game. Could happen. That's what, 11 nuns? Man, that's where we are. The Rockets defense has been just awful. Sandoval, yep. What could have been? What could have been the 95 Rockets, 95 Bulls? What could have been? All right, family. Thank you as always. Once again, tune in early. Tune in top of the show because I got a new intro to these Let's Talk Houston Rockets. And let me see. I'll just go ahead and play it, and so y'all can see it if you missed it at the beginning of the show. Let's see if I pull it up here. But this is the new intro to Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Check it out. that is the intro for the show. Now let's talk Houston Rockets. My man Derek, who we've known each other since 7th grade. Wow, 7th grade. So yep, he put that together for me, as well as the intro to the Folks Talking Sports. So got that going. In case you missed it, as the Houston Roundball Review umbrella grows, got approved credential for the Super Bowl. My man A.D. Moore will be covering and attending the Super Bowl under the Houston Roundball Review umbrella. So that's part of that. I've been covering the Rockets go on since, actually, ironically, after they won the championships. Got credentialed after the second championship. Roundball Review started as a draft publication in '94, and then got credentialed after the second championship. So been a long time. So yep, seen a lot of things. Seen a lot of things in practice over at Westside Tennis Club. And so down said, seen a lot of things over at Westside Tennis Club that I cannot say on here. A lot of things. But yes, thank you very much as always for tuning in. Next show, I think is, let me see here. I had it in my head. Friday, Rockets got a game next Friday on the 14th, and Saturday. Oh, let's see. Gonna have to figure something out. Might be a while. I'm not really sure yet, because we know we got the game Monday and Tuesday, then the game Wednesday and Friday. Next Saturday, the 15th, is a full plate of college games for me. So that's unlikely. And then the Rockets play on the 16th. So, oh my goodness. Let me see here. As things stand right now, probably looking like on MLK Day on January 17th, that Monday. But we'll see how it all plays out. But yeah, most likely, because of schedules and my commitments to college hoops as well, teams in town, probably January 17th. But we'll see how it all plays out. But as always, no, I was not Sandoval. No, I was not. J-Mon, thank you very much for watching. See y'all. If you have not, subscribe and click that like button for the YouTube channel for Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. Please do so, because I'll probably post in the community tab a date, if I pin down a date that's not the 17th of January, about the next Let's Talk Houston Rockets. So do that. But yes, thank you very much as always. Alpha G, James, Tryon, Go On, family. You guys are family. Appreciate it as always. Thank you for those who contributed via the super chat. Thank you for that. Spread the word, Rocket fans. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy this season, despite the sorry ass defense the team is playing lately. Just enjoy it. Have fun. Look for the individual improvement in development. Let's go with that. Have fun watching the game Monday and Tuesday, and we'll talk soon. Take care, and as always, peace.